everyone, welcome to BYJU'S exam prep and कैसे हो आप लोग? I hope everybody is doing very well. Let's everyone join the session and then we will start. So सबसे पहले ये बताओ किसने क्लास ज्वाइन कर ली? किसने क्लास ज्वाइन कर ली पहले ये बताओ. Okay. So बच्चों, in the previous sessions हमारे 2 या 3 दिन से हमारे सेशन चल रहे हैं for the topic of टू पोर्ट नेटवर्क. तो पिछले सेशंस में हमने काफी ज्यादा क्वेश्चंस की प्रैक्टिस करी है, कॉन्सेप्ट करा है, राइट? सो इन टुडे सेशन वी आर गोइंग टू स्टार्ट अगेन सम प्रैक्टिस क्वेश्चंस एंड आज की क्लास में जो हमारे क्वेश्चंस होने वाले हैं दैट्स गोइंग टू बी अ मॉडरेट टू हाई लेवल क्वेश्चन. some students can say that we are going today we are going to do the black box question and all. So उस टाइप के क्वेश्चन we are going to see today. Good afternoon Jakam. So everybody join the session and session join करने से पहले सबसे पहले आप सेशन को शेयर कीजिए अपने दोस्तों के साथ, जिस भी स्टडी ग्रुप में आप शेयर कीजिए, सेशन को लाइक कीजिए एंड देन वी विल स्टार्ट आवर सेशन. और आज के सेशन में जो आपको इन्फॉर्मेशन मिलने वाली है, जो आप कंटेंट देखने वाले हो, वो आपको किसी बुक्स वगैरह में नहीं मिलने वाला. ओके, बिकॉज आज हम यूज करने वाले हैं थ्योरम्स विद टू पोर्ट नेटवर्क, राइट? सो लेट मी इंट्रोड्यूस माई सेल्फ. माई नेम इज ईशान मुदगल. एक सेकेंड. हाँ, राइट. My name is Ishan Mudgal. I have a 6+ year of teaching experience. MTech gold medalist from NIT Allahabad, 7 times GATE qualified, and these are my area of expertise. And right now we are doing network theory. Also, bachcho, you can join my Telegram channel. If you have any doubt, you can ask your doubts there. If it will be related to a topic, I will solve the doubts in a live class. Otherwise, I will give the answer there. Before starting a session, let me tell you that Abhinav sir is going to bring a very fantastic lesson on the topic of how to cover GATE in GATE syllabus in less amount of time. This will help you a lot in your revision planning also. This session is going to live on 11th October on 7:30 p.m. So don't forget to register for this particular session, right? First, before starting a session, let me revise what we have done in our previous classes. We have seen the concepts of two-port network. We have seen some basic circuits whose Y and Z parameter you must remember, like T network or pi network. We have seen how to transform the parameter from one form to another. We also have seen the questions over it. Okay, and we have seen how to solve the question related to two-port network, right? Now today's first question is this. In today's class, my focus will be on the black box question, or basically the question that link the network theorem, basically the Thevenin's theorem, right? So first of all, you can read the question on board. The question length is long. It is on another page also. So read the question carefully. Sometimes what happen, the question seems to easy, but because of the language, because of the length of a question, it sometimes students think the question is difficult. Okay, so that's main point I'm going to start here. Venkatraman, when will you start signal and system BYJU'S? Venkatraman, that is the plan on app, not on YouTube, but that I will start one week after next. Okay, so in the second week I'm going to start that. In next week I'm going to start another particular subject, or I can say BYJU'S. That information I will give you in today's class. After that we will see the signal and system. So here, read the question carefully. The question is saying two passive two-port network are connected in a cascade as shown in figure. The figure is this. This is the cascade form. What is the meaning of cascade form? Output of first become input of second. A voltage source is connected at port 1. Two passive two-port network are connected in cascade as shown in figure, right? A voltage, repeat okay, sorry. This is repeat. So we have given ABCD parameter. Also we have given ABCD parameter. We have to find out VTH and ZTH, or you can say RTH here. Okay, so for this network, I can say the cascade network, we need to find out the VTH and RTH. So basically we are going to use the Thevenin's theorem concept in a two-port network. Okay, this question is very, very important, guys, because if you see the previous year question from last 10 years from electrical and EC, the question over the Thevenin's theorem, or I can say the maximum power theorem, has been asked on a very high basis. If I'm not wrong, in last 10 years, 6 to 7 questions has been asked over it, combining both electrical and EC. So see very carefully. We need to find out the VTH here. So before starting a question, let me give you some basic idea behind this. First of all, they have said that this is a passive network. They have said that this is a passive network. Now, bachcho, passive network means the network is made up of only resistor, inductor and capacitor. So whenever we have a passive network, always remember that will be a reciprocal network. That will be a reciprocal network. So these two will be a reciprocal network. Or why I am saying the reciprocal network word? Because in reciprocal network, I can directly say that VTH is directly proportional to source voltage. A very, very important point. In a reciprocal network, you can say VTH is directly proportional to VS. Why? Because VTH is actually output and VS is actually input. So in a reciprocal network, output is directly proportional to input. Remember this. But if the network is not reciprocal, if they mention that this is an active network, which means that it may reciprocal, may not be reciprocal. So in that case, this relation will not hold true. Remember this point. ये सबसे पहला point है. To remember this, that for reciprocal network, passive network, this will be true. Any doubt here? Any doubt here? Tell me. Now for this, I need to find out the VTH and ZTH. So first of all, one thing you know, that when the network is in cascade, their ABCD parameter will multiply to find out the overall ABCD parameter. Yes or no? Comment section में मुझे आंसर देते रहो बच्चों. Participate in a comment section so that I will get to know that you are understanding the topic. Okay? So participate in a comment section. Plus minus V1, I1. If I combine these two network, then you can see it is V3 and I3. I will come to your doubt. Wait a sec. I will come to your doubt. Okay. If I combine these two network, then this is the input V1, I1. This is the output V3, I3. Okay. So a very good doubt has been asked by Venkat. Why it is proportional? Good afternoon, Prabhunath. Why it is proportional? Beta, do you know what is the reciprocal theorem? Reciprocity theorem, my fault. What is the reciprocity theorem? Reciprocity theorem tells you that the ratio of output to input remain same. The ratio of output to input remains same, or I can say constant. That is the reciprocal network. Okay, if you change the terminal. So this particular theorem is applicable to a reciprocal network. So if I am saying that we have a reciprocal network, I can also say that output is directly proportional to input. That's why VTH is actually the output, VS is actually the source. That's why this proportionality holds, but only for reciprocal network. Understood? Yes or no? It linked with the reciprocity theorem. Okay, so I need to find out the overall ABCD parameter first. Okay, now overall ABCD parameter, because it is in a cascade form, the individual ABCD parameter will get multiplied. Individual ABCD parameter will get multiplied, right? Like this. Also, बच्चों, session share कर देना, share the session so that all students will get benefited from this particular initiative. Okay. Now, when you multiply it, it will be A1, A2 plus B1, C2, A2, C1 plus D1, C2, A1, B2 plus B1, D2. If you get any mistake in calculation, you can tell me, okay? C1, B2 plus D1, D2. Okay, this is actually the ABCD parameter of a complete network. Okay, that's easy. Everybody can do it, है ना? इसमें तो कोई doubt नहीं है. Cascade है. We can multiply the ABCD parameter. The new thing starts now is how to find out the VTH and the ZTH here. So see this particular step very carefully. See this particular step very carefully, how to find out VTH and ZTH. So if I have a network given, for example, this network is given, can I write down the equation like this, that V1 is equal to A times of V3 plus B times of I3. V2 is equal to C times of V3 plus D times of I3. Sorry, my fault. It will be I1. I1 is like this. I can write down these two equations. Now understand one point carefully. Because the direction of current I3 is outside the network, I have used the plus sign. If the direction is inside the network, I have to use the minus sign. Okay. Now what is VTH? Tell me, what is VTH? VTH is the open circuit voltage. VTH is the open circuit voltage. So for VTH, I am going to do the port 3 open. I am going to do the port 3 open. So if I am going to do the port 3 open, then I3 becomes 0. I3 becomes 0 and V3 will become VTH. Yes or no? Yes or no? जल्दी से पॉइंट बताओ, ये पॉइंट बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है, दैट इफ for VTH, what is Thevenin's voltage? It is the open circuit voltage. So if I'm making an open circuit at an output terminal, then the current becomes 0 and the voltage becomes VTH. Everybody get this point? Yes or no? ये बताओ मुझे. Everyone get this point कि how I have written V3 is VTH, I3 is 0. जल्दी से. People are watching right now? Okay, good. Venkat is saying yes. Right? Now, can I put this result here? Then I put this result here. So here you can see in which equation you can put that I3 is 0 and V3 is VTH. I can put here in this equation. So V1 is equal to A times of VTH plus 0. So from here the VTH comes out to be A times of V1. VTH comes out to be A times of V1. Sorry, my V1 by A. V1 by A. कोई नहीं छोटी मोटी मिस्टेक हो जाती है. VTH comes out to be V1 by A. Now what is A? A is actually this. What is A? A is actually this. So VTH comes out to be V1 divided by A1 A2 B1 C2. A1 A2 B1. एक सेकेंड. हाँ, B1 C2. A1 A2 B1 C2. The VTH comes out to be V1 divided by A1 A2 B1 C2. Okay, let's see the option. Let's see the options. So option A is wrong. Option C is wrong. Option B and D can be answered because in option B VTH is V1 divided by A1 A2 plus B1 C2 and same here. So option C and D can be the answer. Option A and C are wrong. B and D can be the answer. So VTH comes out to be this. This is the only method to find out the VTH. Remember, this is the method to find out the VTH. You have to take this condition. You have to take this condition. Very important point. Once you have this condition, whatever the parameter is given in this question, the ABCD parameter is given, whatever the parameter is given, you have to apply this condition there. Okay? और बच्चों सेशन को लाइक नहीं कर रहे हो आप लोग, सेशन को लाइक करो, उससे हमें मोटिवेशन मिलता है. ठीक है? So VTH हो गया ये. Then now we have to find out the RTH or you can say ZTH. What do you mean by RTH and ZTH? Tell me. What do you mean by ZTH? कमेंट सेक्शन में बताओ मुझे ZTH क्या होता है. ZTH. For ZTH, the first point is we have to remove the source voltage or whatever be the source we have. It can be current source or a voltage source. We have to remove the source voltage. Then we have to use the test source method. Then we have to use test source method. हमें क्या use करना पड़ता है? Test source method use करना पड़ता है. Yes or no? If you don't know what is the test source method, you can search Ishan Mudgal and आगे test source method on YouTube. You will get the video. Okay, so remove source voltage. So if I remove the source voltage, the network will be like this. If I remove the source voltage, remove मतलब short circuit, याद रखना, short circuit. If you have a current source, that will be open circuit. And यहाँ पर we have applied the test voltage. Let's suppose I am applying plus minus 1 volt. Such that the current leaving is equal to I. The current leaving is equal to I. Okay. Now see very carefully. See very carefully. Because of this short circuit, I can say the V1 is equal to 0. The V1 is equal to 0. Here I can say the V3 is equal to 1 volt. Why? See the network here. I have applied the test source here. I have applied the test source here. Also, if you see one point, the direction of I3 is towards the V3. But here, direction of I is reversed. So I can say I3 is equal to minus I. I can say I3 is equal to minus I. Okay? अनंत कह रहे सर कल का होमवर्क डिस्कस कर दीजिए. बेटा देखो, अगर होमवर्क में कोई डाउट होता है ना, आप मुझे टेलीग्राम ग्रुप पर भेज दिया करो. ओके? कोई अगर होमवर्क डिस्कस करूंगा तो वो क्वेश्चन में 5 to 10 मिनट्स निकल जाएंगे. आप एक बार टेलीग्राम ग्रुप पे मुझे पिन कर दो. आई विल एक्सप्लेन यू देयर ऑल्सो. Okay, so here I can say I3 is equal to minus I. If I3 is minus I, now put all this value where? Where can I put this value? Again, I can put this value on a first equation because I have V1 0, I have V3 1 volt, we have I3 value, right? So if I put this in equation number 1, put in equation number 1. So V1 is 0 multiply by A times of V3 which is 1 plus B times of I3 which is minus I. From here, I can say I comes out to be A by V. I comes out to be A by V. But what we need to find out? we need to find out the ZTH. ZTH क्या होता है? What is ZTH? It is the ratio of voltage divided by current. So ZTH will be equal to 1 divided by I, which is equal to A by B. Now put all the values here. What is A? A is this much. A1, A2, B1, C2. A1, A2, B1, C2. What is B here? A1, B2, B1, D2. A1, B2 plus B1, B2. Achha nahi, my fault. It's B by A. It's B by A. Correct. It's B by A. It's B by A. So this ratio will also reverse. It will be A1, B2 plus B1, D2 divided by A1, A2 plus B1, C2. This is the right answer. This is the right answer. This is the right answer, right? Okay, this is the right answer. So let's see option कौन सा match कर रहा है? A1, B2, option D. Option D. So option D is matching. So I can say option D is the right answer. वो check कर लो. A1, A2, B1, C2. हाँ. Option D is the right answer. Option D is the right answer. Okay. So this is one of the great question from a Thevenin's theorem. See how many concepts we have used here. First, we have used the connection of two network concept. So if the network is cascading, their overall ABCD parameter will get multiplied. Then we use the concept of how to find out the VTH. Then we use the concept of how to find out the ZTH. That's why it's one of the very good question from a two-port network, and it consists of 2 marks if this type of question will come in your exam. Okay, any doubt here? So you need to understand बच्चों, whenever the question comes from VTH or whenever the question comes from ZTH, you have to follow this particular rule कि किस तरीके से आप ZTH को लिखते हो. This particular rule you have to follow. Again, this rule you have to follow. Okay. Next one. This is your previous year question. I say from the 2015 paper. Okay. So let's see. Let's read the question carefully. The Z parameter of a two-port network shown in a figure. So we have given a Z parameter here. Okay, fine. The average power delivered to RL in watt is. So they are asking what is the average power delivered to RL. This we need to find out. Okay, see very carefully. We need to find out the average power delivered to RL. Now in the examination, this question can be asked in two ways. In first way, they can ask you like this कि average power निकालनी है आपको. In second way, they can ask you find out the maximum power delivered to RL. So if they are asking you the maximum power delivered to RL, it means they are asking the maximum power theorem. And for maximum power theorem, you require VTH and ZTH. In the last question, I already discussed with you how to find out the VTH and ZTH. So once you have VTH and ZTH, can you write down the maximum power formula? It is equal to VTH whole square divided by 4 times of RTH. So the question can also ask for the maximum power theorem. So for maximum power theorem, you need to find out VTH and RTH just. Okay. But here we have to find out the average power delivered to RL. So in these type of question in which you have a source voltage, in which you have some load also, in these type of question, you have to first write down all the equation that are possible here. You have to write down all the equation that are possible here. So first of all, the Z parameter is given. Now understand one point, this Z parameter linking this voltage, this current, this voltage and this current. So I can write down the equation from here that V1, V2 is equal to Z11 I1. Z11 कितना है 40. 40 I1 plus Z12 I2 which is 60 I2. Next we have Z21. Okay, so 80 multiplied by I1 plus 100 I2. Okay. So this becomes the equation number 1. This becomes the equation number 2. Okay. So to find out the power here, to find out the average power 320 by 9, I guess the answer is wrong, but let me check. Now to find out the average power, I require this current I2 or this voltage V2. Now from here you can see this current I2 is actually going in this direction. So the actual polarity of V2, must be plus and minus, but the polarity given is reverse. So can I say what is V2? V2 is minus I2 multiplied by RL. RL is given which is minus 20 times of I2. Equation number 3rd. Next equation will come from this KVL. I can apply the KVL here. it will be V1 equal to 20 minus 10 times of I1, equation number 4. Now, see very carefully here. You have 4 equations, right? You have 4 equations. You have 4 variable. For example, V1, I1, V2, I2. So these 4 equations, I can find out any number of variable if I have an equal number of equation. So from that concept, because of 4 equations, I can find out these 4 variables. But which variable I want? I need to find out the average power. So I want the variable I2. So from these 4 equations, I will try to find out I2 here. So first of all, I can put equation number 3 in equation number 2. Put 3 into equation number 2. Sorry, equation number 2. Put 3 in equation number 2. So I can say minus 20 times of I2 is equal to 80 times of I1 plus 100 times of I2. So it comes out to be I1 is equal to minus 120 divided by 80 times of I2. So I1 comes out to be minus 3 by 2 I2. I1 comes out to be minus 3 by 2 I2, right? Now again, what can I do? I can put this value of I1 in equation number 1. इस equation में put कर सकते हैं. Let me check. So if I put this in equation number 1, put in equation number 1, what you will get? V1 is equal to 40 times of minus 3 by 2 I2 plus 60 times of I2. B is minus 6. It comes out to be 0. So V1 comes out to be 0. Calculation check kar lena. V1 comes out to be 0. If V1 is 0, now I can do the calculation here also. If V1 is 0, I can put 0 here. 20. What is I1? I1 is minus 3 by 2. I1 is minus 3 by 2. So from here, how much I1 we get? 2 से ज़्यादा 5 to 15. So if I am not wrong, I am getting minus 20 by 15. एक बार check कर लेना. We are getting minus 20 by 15. तो इसको 5 से cancel किया, minus 4 by 3 ampere. Sorry, we are getting I2 here, na? We are getting I2 here. This is I2. This is I2. So we are getting minus 4 by 3. We are getting minus 4 by 3 ampere. कोई doubt इसके अंदर? So once we have getting the I2, I can find out power here. I can find out power here. Power is I2 square multiplied by RL. So I2 we got 4 by 3. So it becomes 16 by 9 multiplied by RL, which is 20. We got 320 by 9 watt. So someone give the 320 by 9. Ha. Venkat is correct and Anant is correct. Ashok, kindly see your answer. Kindly see your answer, bachcha, where you have done the calculation wrong. The answer is 320 by 9 watt. 320 by 9 watt. Okay. Again, this is also a 2 marks question. This is also a 2 mark question, but this is a moderate level question. Why? Because you have 4 equation, 4 variable. You can find out I2 in whatever way you want to find out. So this is a moderate level question. The earlier question we have done, that was a high level question. And also, if in this question I ask you the maximum power delivered, then again this becomes the high level question. Because in high level question, always remember 2 or 3 concepts collide in one question. For example, for maximum power theorem, we have to use the Thevenin's voltage. We have to use the Thevenin's resistance also. Okay, understood? Yes or no? Now this question, this is one of my favorite questions from a 2-port network, and I feel this is one of the best question that has been asked in the last 30 years of gate history in network theory. One of the best questions they have asked. Okay, so read the question carefully. And if I'm not wrong, this question has been asked in GATE 2012, and it has been asked in all the stream, IN, electrical and EC. Okay, so let's read the question carefully. Now, while reading a question, you need to understand few points here. Okay, that point I'm going to discuss. So we have 2 questions here. तो उसके लिए common data दिया हुआ है. This is a common data for 2 questions. So the question is, with 10 volt DC connected at port A in the linear non-reciprocal network. This is important. This is important. This line is important. Non-reciprocal network. This line, bachcho, is very, very important. Why? Because I told you, if we have a reciprocal network, in case of reciprocal network, output, let's suppose I'm talking about VTH. तो VTH is directly proportional to source voltage. This is very important in case of reciprocal network. But once you have a non-reciprocal network, this will not true. So in case of non-reciprocal network, VTH is equal to alpha times of Vs plus beta. VTH is equal to alpha times of Vs plus beta. It means the VTH does not directly depend on Vs. It's not directly proportionate to it, where alpha and beta are some constant. Alpha beta क्या है? Constant हमारे पास जो हम find करेंगे. So this 2 points you need to remember and understand here. कि what is the meaning of reciprocal and non-reciprocal network? Okay, very important, very important. So they have given two conditions here, that with 10 volt DC, if we have a 10 volt DC, then 1 ohm connected at port B draws a current of 3 ampere. 2.5 ohm connected at port B draws a current of 2 ampere. Okay. Now the question is, for the same network, but now the voltage has changed. With 6 volt DC applied at port A, 1 ohm connected at port B draws 7/3 ampere. Now the question is, if 8 volt DC is connected to port A, what is the open circuit voltage at port B? Now you can see, बहुत सारी इंफॉर्मेशन का बॉम्बार्डमेंट हो गया है ना, कि इतने सारे वोल्टेज दिया हुआ है, इतने सारा करंट दिया हुआ है, रेसिस्टेंस दिया हुआ है ना. बट ऑलवेज रिमेंबर, whenever in a two-port network, if they are playing with so much voltages and current, it means the question is 99% is from the Thevenin's theorem. So remember this point. In non-reciprocity mentioned, it is linearly proportional. Beta nahi, see here, Venkat, see here. In reciprocal network, if the network is reciprocal, it is VTH is directly proportional to Vs. Means the rate at which Vs is changing, VTH is changing with the same rate. For example, if Vs is double, then VTH is also double. If Vs become 3 times, VTH also become 3 times. But according to this equation, it is not true. If source voltage is double, VTH will increase, but it is not going to double there, because of the factor beta. Because of factor beta, it's not going to be double. That is the meaning of a linear relationship here. Okay, understand this point, right? Now here, so first of all, I'm going to draw a Thevenin circuit here. I'm going to draw a Thevenin circuit here. So we have VTH, RTH, and we have here RL. We have VTH, RTH, and we have RL here. Now my first priority here is to find out VTH, RTH with the information given. Then we will see what is asking in a question. Okay, Venkat, do you understand the particular point we have discussed about reciprocity? So here I can say, now we have given for 1 ohm connected at port B draws a current of 3 ampere. Okay, so I can say, what is VTH here? VTH is equal to I multiplied by RTH plus RL. RTH plus RL, right? Now they are saying with 1 ohm connected at port B, this is RL, draws a current of 3 ampere. So VTH is equal to I 1 ohm plus RTH, draws a current of 3, sorry. तो अगर 3 ampere draw कर रहा है, तो it will be 3 times of R1, है ना? 3. Now again they are saying, this is the equation number 1. Now again they are saying, if 2.5 ohm connected at port B draws a current of 2, if 2.5 ohm connected at point B then draws a current of 2. Okay, now by solving these two equations, I can find out VTH, RTH. Okay, solve it. So it will be 3 plus 3 times of RTH equal to 5 plus 2 times of RTH. RTH comes out to be 2 ohm. Okay, now if you put here 2 plus 1, 3 plus 3, 9. VTH comes out to be 9 volt. VTH comes out to be 9 volt. Understand? By giving the information here, we have find out what is the VTH and RTH. Okay, now understand next point. ये वाला point बहुत important है. Understand next point very, very carefully. This VTH and RTH we have calculated when the 10 volt DC is applied here. So this is we have calculated when source voltage 10 volt. Okay, understand this point. Now remember about RTH. How do you find out RTH? You find out RTH by removing the source voltage, by short circuiting a source voltage. So if I change the source voltage, it's not going to impact RTH. RTH पे कोई change नहीं आएगा. because जब आप RTH find करते हो you have to remove the source voltage. So if you're applying 10 volt, 20 volt, 60 volt, RTH will remain same. But when you find out the VTH, you just do the open circuit at load terminal. You don't remove the source voltage. That's why VTH depend on the source voltage. This point is very important here. And since here the network given is non-reciprocal, so here the VTH is actually equal to alpha times of Vs plus beta. It is not directly proportional to Vs here. Okay, so from this equation I can say 9 times of 10 alpha plus beta. I can write down this equation here. I can write down this equation here. यहाँ तक कोई doubt है पूछ लो. If you have any doubt till this point you can ask, because this is the point you need to understand here. After that the question is simple. This is the point is important कि if you change the source voltage, RTH remains same but VTH will change. Okay. Now let's see what is the question they are asking. What is the asking? What's the question they are asking here? They are saying now 6 volt DC. तो source voltage change हो रहा है. With 6 volt DC connected at port A, 1 ohm connected at port B, 7/3 ampere flows. है ना? So it means if I talk about Vs equal to 6 volt, if I talk about Vs equal to 6 volt, RTH remains same. RTH will be 2 ohms. Now VTH will be, I can say it become VTH dash. It become VTH dash. Now according to this equation, can I find out the VTH dash? Here you can see the current flows is 7/3 ampere. So 7/3 ampere, RTH is 2. What is the load resistor? Load resistor is 1 ohm. So load resistor is 1 ohm. So VTH dash comes out to be 7 volt. VTH dash comes out to be 7 volt. Now that VTH dash 7 volt is comes out because the source voltage is 6 alpha plus beta. This is equation number 4. Understood till here? We have 2 VTH, one because of 10 volt, one because of 6 volt. So I can make the equation like this. If I can make the equation like this, I can find out alpha and beta. So if you solve this equation, यही solve करते हैं. Solve 3 and 4. Alpha कितना आ गया? 1/2. If alpha is 1/2, beta comes out to be 4. Beta comes out to be 4. So I can say what is VTH? VTH is Vs/2 plus 4. This is the VTH. This is the VTH. VTH is Vs/2 plus 4. Now for any source voltage, I can find out VTH using this equation. Okay, very beautiful question. Very beautiful question. For now, any value of source voltage, I can find out VTH. Now they are saying if 8 volt DC is connected to port A, source voltage is again change. What is the open circuit voltage at port B? So they are just asking VTH. VTH क्या होता है? It is the open circuit voltage. So here I can write down VTH is equal to Vs is 8/2 plus 4. It comes out to be 8 volt. So VTH comes out to be 8 volt. This is the answer for part A, for first question. This is the answer for first question. So understand here, whenever the source voltage is changing, always remember VTH will change. Now if the network is reciprocal, so it will change with the same rate. If the source voltage is double, the VTH will also double. But if a network is non-reciprocal, you have to write down equation like this to find out the VTH in different Vs scenario. Okay, understood here? Now the second part of the question, they are asking, अनंत सर बीटा अल्फा रिपीट कीजिए सर. बीटा अल्फा क्या है? देखो बेटा मैंने आपको क्या बताया. अगर देखो यहाँ में लिखा ना, यहाँ पे देखो, इफ वी हैव अ रेसिप्रोकल नेटवर्क तो VTH विल बी डायरेक्टली, ये अल्फा नहीं है, ये अल्फा नहीं है. दिस इज द प्रोपोर्शनलिटी साइन. This is the proportionality sign here. Here, this is the proportionality sign. It's not alpha. So here you can see, in case of reciprocal, VTH will be directly proportional to Vs. तो अगर Vs डबल हो रहा है, VTH भी उसी रेट में डबल होगा. बट लेकिन यहाँ पर क्या है, नेटवर्क जो है नॉन रेसिप्रोकल है. सो अगर नेटवर्क नॉन रेसिप्रोकल है ना, तो आपको VTH ना Vs के साथ साथ एक दूसरे फैक्टर पर भी डिपेंड करेगा. ये जो फैक्टर होता है, ये आता है बिकॉज ऑफ एक्टिव एलिमेंट इन द नेटवर्क. ये आता है बिकॉज ऑफ एक्टिव एलिमेंट इन नेटवर्क. नाउ एक्टिव एलिमेंट नेटवर्क में क्या होंगे? लाइक डिपेंडेंट सोर्सेस या कोई भी अलग आपके इंडिपेंडेंट सोर्स हो जो नेटवर्क के अंदर लगे हुए हैं, है ना, जो आपको नहीं पता है, उसके ऊपर आपका बीटा डिपेंड कर रहा है. तो इसका मतलब जो VTH होगा वो सोर्स वोल्टेज के साथ साथ कि उस एक्टिव एलिमेंट पर भी डिपेंड होगा. तो हमने यहाँ पर एक इक्वेशन बना दी कि VTH इज इक्वल टू अल्फा Vs प्लस बीटा. जहाँ पे अल्फा बीटा दोनों कांस्टेंट है. So if you have a non-reciprocal network, you have to use this equation. If you don't have, if you have a reciprocal network, then you can directly say, if here we have a 10 volt, here we have a 6 volt, then with the same rate the VTH will decrease. Okay, understood this point? Now next with 10 volt. Now again they're asking about 10 volt. Again they're asking about 10 volt, but for 10 volt we have already find out that VTH is 9 or RTH remains same, which is 2 ohm, है ना? So with 10 volt connected at port A, the current drawn by 7 ohm connected at port B. ये क्या है? RL तो है. So current is VTH divided by RTH plus RL. Here, so VTH कितना है? 9. RTH is 2. This is 7. Comes out to be 1 ampere. Option C. Simple. Second question is simple because they haven't changed the voltage here. They just put the 10 volt here. So this question, when they ask in a gate this question was of 4 marks, 2 each. But actually, if you want to reach to this particular question, you have to solve the first question first, है ना? So that's why first one question is very important, and the line given here, non-reciprocal two-port network, this is very important. Okay, understand it? सब लोग बताओ. It's one of the best question you have for a two-port network in the entire history of gate examination. Because of the concept, you use the non-reciprocal concept and giving so many information inside a single question. Okay, good. Next, we go for the next question. Now, before going to next question, if you haven't downloaded the BYJU'S exam prep app, so kindly download it. My next week, I'm also going to start session on a particular app. In app, we have a very good feature in which I will provide you the quiz. You can participate in a quiz in a live class, and you can get a score like this, and you can compete with your fellow aspirants so that you can see where you stand. Okay. Now, from next week, I'm going to start my classes on app. That class is for the analog electronics, बच्चों. In analog electronics, first we see how to revise the analog, because for analog is very important subject for EC and a good scoring subject for electrical. So we are going to see how to revise the analog electronics. The class time will be from 4:30 p.m. and then we have a 4 classes whole week in which I am going to discuss the previous year question. From there we will understand the concept. So we will cover all the previous year questions from electrical and EC in this particular class. So don't forget to attend it. This class is going to be on app. After this, I'm going to take the similar class on signal and system. After this, I'm going to take a similar class on signal and system, which will start from 16th October. Only on app. Okay? कौन से ग्रुप में ज्वाइन करना है बेटा? मैं आपको चलो मैं कमेंट एक सेकंड चलो दे ही देता हूं मैं. I will put in a comment section. Wait. I will put my Telegram channel link in your comment section. तो उसमें आप लोग ज्वाइन कर लो. Just give me 1 second. So I guess you got notification, right? So do you got the link? On a chat? Do you got the link on chat? Yes or no? No, sir. क्या हो रहा है? Yes or no? No, sir. Now you got it. नहीं, another free class है. I have written a free live class है. So there is some problem. I'm not able to upload the link. कोई नहीं. क्लास के half an hour बाद आप comment section देख लेना. Just watch the comment section of the class. You will get the link there. I will post the link in the comment section. Okay, बच्चों? I'm not able to post the link here, na? Okay, I will post the link in a comment section. Okay, we will continue the class. This class is going to be a free class, not paid. This is going to be a free class for your revision. 2 weeks I'm going to take classes here. Now next question. A very good question. A very good question has been asked in 2023 in electrical exam. An electrical exam. Okay, now see the question carefully. The admittance parameter of the passive resistance two port network here in the figure. So for this network we have given Y11, Y22, Y12, Y21. The power delivered to the load resistor RL is how much? So again they are asking the power. बेटा डिस्क्रिप्शन वाला लिंक नहीं है क्योंकि डिस्क्रिप्शन में एक्चुअली मैं अपने ग्रुप का लिंक डालना भूल गया हूँ. वो एक जनरल लिंक है, वो एक जनरल लिंक है. तो डिस्क्रिप्शन वाला लिंक पे भी आप जा सकते हो, वहां पे वो क्लासेस मिलेंगी नहीं. फॉर माय पर्सनल ग्रुप जो है जिसमें मैं आपको नोटिफिकेशन दूंगा, उसका लिंक मैं कमेंट सेक्शन में डाल दूंगा आफ्टर द क्लास. ओके, सो तो अच्छा कैसे हाउ विल सॉल्व दिस क्वेश्चन. तो अनंत सिंह की सर तो इंटरनल सर्किट से इसको रिप्लेस करना होगा. बेटा कर सकते हो, नो वरीज, यू कैन रिप्लेस, बट इट विल क्रिएट सो मच प्रॉब्लम. If you replace it, it will create so much difficulty because the calculation becomes so much difficult. So I will advise you not go into that particular path. So to solve this question, there are two main methods. First method is you can see from the y parameter. Let me write down the y parameter here. This is 5, this is 1, this is minus 2.5, this is minus 2.5. From this parameter, can you say that this is a symmetrical, sorry, this is a reciprocal network? Can you say this is the reciprocal network? Yes or no? This is a reciprocal network. If this is a reciprocal network, I can find out the pi circuit. If this is a reciprocal network, I can find out the pi circuit, which is y11, I can find out the pi circuit, which is actually y1, y2 and y3. We can find out a pi circuit. After finding out the pi circuit, I can connect that pi circuit here, and this resistor becomes parallel to y2. This resistor will become parallel to y2, and then we can solve accordingly and find out the current I2. So this is one of the method you can see commonly in your books and all. Okay, but I will solve this question using a second method, which is also a very good method, which is the combination of circuits. Which is a combination circuit. अच्छा तुम ये वाला बोल रहे थे. अच्छा I thought कि तुम उसको dependent source में change करना चाह रहे हो. ये वाला भी अच्छा है. Good. So next point is that we can also use the concept of interconnection of circuit. If you see this particular network and this particular network, both are connected in parallel. Both are connected in parallel. Both of them are connected in parallel. If they are connected in parallel, their y parameter can be add up. If they are connected in parallel, their y parameters can be add up. This is the property of interconnection of circuits. Now how you can see that they are connected in parallel? Because you can see the current I. If you see the main current I, it is divided into two parts. Here also. Or if you see the voltage, they have the same voltage plus minus V1 across this port and across 3 ohm. So both of them are connected in parallel. So if they are connected in parallel, we can combine them. So I'm going to use that particular method. So to use that method, first of all, you need to remember what is the y parameter of this circuit. What is the y parameter of this circuit? The y parameter of this circuit is 1 by r minus 1 by r minus 1 by r 1 by r. This is the y parameter of this circuit. Do you know how to find this? Do you know how to find this? Easier. This is the circuit. If you want y parameter, that will be like this. कैसे find करोगे? याद करो. Let me tell you in short. How to find out y parameter of this circuit. I can convert this circuit in a pi network. I can convert this circuit in a pi network. Now remember, in pi network, we use the admittance. So R, it becomes 1 by R. Here, the resistance is infinite. So it becomes 0. Now use the concept of y. Y parameter का shortcut trick. Use the concept of shortcut trick of y parameter. 1 by r plus 0, 1 by r plus 0, and the non-diagonal element is negative of this. है ना? ऐसे यहाँ से ठीक है. So what will be the total y parameter? Total y parameter is summation of y1 plus y2. Total y parameter is summation of y1 plus y2. Y1 is this. It is 5. It is minus 2.5. I can write down 5 by 25 by 10 now, so I can write down 5 by 2. I can write down 5 by 2 here also, 5 by 2, right? here we have 1. What is y2? y2 is, it given 3, so 1 by 3 minus 1 by 3 minus 1 by 3 1 by 3 without इसके अंदर 1 by 3 1 by 3. Now you can add up this thing. So 8 by 3, it becomes 3 to the 6, so minus 15 minus 2 minus 17 by 3. You can check the calculation also. It becomes 4 by 3. Let me check once. 15 to 17. Sorry, 17 by 6. My fault. 6. Here will be a 6 here. Here will be a 6 here. Minus 17 by 6 minus 17 by 6. Right? Done? Okay, so this is the total y parameter and we have this circuit. So let's draw the circuit again. We have a total y parameter here. We have what? We have RL equal to 6 ohm, RL equal to 6 ohm, RL equal to 6 ohm. This is plus minus V2. The current flows here I2. This is plus minus V1. The current enters here is I1. Now this is the same question we have solved earlier. This is the same question, see, we have solved earlier, in which I need to find out our power here. Let me show you here. This is the same circuit that has become. This is the same circuit that is become. Right? Yes or no? So we are not going to solve it further. आप इसको अपने आप solve कर सकते हो ना? You need to find out I2. You have equations there. Here. Also the V2 become RL 6 times of RL. Yes or no? Find कर सकते हो इसको. 16 by 3 होगा ना? कैसे बेटा? आप minus 5 by 2 और minus 1 by 3 को plus कर रहे हो, तो यहाँ पर LCM 6 आएगा. It will be minus 15. It will be minus 2. It will be minus 17 by 6. ऐसे होगा ना? और 16 by 3 कहाँ देख रहे हो आप बताओ मुझे. अच्छा यहाँ पर. ओके फाइन करेक्ट. ओके फाइन हाँ सही है. 16 by 3 करेक्ट. और यहाँ 4 by 3 करेक्ट. सही है. कभी कभी कैलकुलेशन रॉन्ग हो जाती है, कोई नहीं. फाइन. So how will you solve this network in easiest way? How to solve the remaining question in the easiest way? One thing you can also do, you can convert this network into a Thevenin's network. You can find out VTH, RTH, and then you can apply the load and find out the current. So in both of the method, you can solve this question in a same particular time. So after this, you can find out power. So this is your homework. You have to find I2, and then you have to find out the power. Without this, anybody? Do you have any doubt here? है ना? सेम टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन जो हमें सेकंड क्वेश्चन किया आज क्लास में, उसी के आगे होगा ये. राइट नाउ लेट्स सी द लास्ट क्वेश्चन ऑफ टुडेज क्लास. Venkat, what you didn't get, tell me beta. I guess you can see both networks are parallel. You can see both networks are parallel. If both are parallel, then their y parameter will get add up. For this network, y parameter is given. Okay. For this kind of network, y parameter is given by this. Okay, so we have find out the y parameter first. It is given. We have find out for that particular branch R. Then we add up both of them to find out the total y parameter. So now if we have a total y parameter, the network will look like this. From here, you need to find out the you need to find out the I2. कैसे find करोगे? Let me tell you this also. You need to find out I2. First, you can see here, V2 is equal to minus 6 times of I2. Because of direction of current, V2 is equal to minus 6 times of I2. Okay, this is the equation number 1. Next, I have a y parameter also. Here, so I can write down the equation. V1 is equal to 16 by 3. Sorry, my fault. Y parameter दिया हुआ ना. I have a y parameter equation. So y parameter equation will be I1 is equal to y11 V1, y12 V2, है ना. So we have 16 by 3 minus 17 by 6. We have 16 by 3 minus 17 by 6. Then we have minus 17 by 6. And we have 4 by 3. So in this way, we have second and third equation. What you need to find out? You need to find out I2. So अगर I2 find करना है आपको, so you have this 3 equation. You can solve it. You can find out and solve it. And if I'm missing something, here we have 20 volt also. Sorry. So we have given a 20 volt also. So the fourth equation is V1 is 20 volt. So you have 4 equations. By solving this, you can find out I2. Understood? है ना? Easy up to. Next. Now read the question carefully. So we have given in a linear 2-port network, when 10 volt in a linear two-port network, when 10 volt is applied to port 1, a current of 4 ampere flows through the port 2 when it is short circuit. Okay, first information is given. So I can write down the information here also. They are saying that V1 is 10 volt is applied to a port 1, a current of 4 ampere is flowing. So I2 is 4 ampere when it is short circuit, when V2 is 0. This information they have given here, this type of information they have given here. Next they are saying when 5 volt is applied to port 1, when 5 volt is applied to port 1, a current of 1.25 ampere flows through a 1 ohm resistor. So I2 is equal to 1.25 ampere flows through resistor of 1 ohm. So we have given current and voltage. Can I find out V2? It is equal to 1.25 multiplied by 1 ohm. It will be 1.25 volt. Why? Because at port B, a resistor of 1 ohm is connected. A resistor of 1 ohm is connected and a current is passing through it. I can find out the voltage V2. Okay, so question complete here. Now they are saying when 3 volt is applied to port 1, when 3 volt is applied to port 1, I need to find out the current. I need to find out the current which is passed through the 2 ohm resistor. Which is passed through the 2 ohm resistor. This I need to find out. Okay. सर आगे y1 to y21 इक्वल दिया हो तो पाई सर्किट से रिप्लेस हाँ हो सकता है ऑलवेज यू कैन रिप्लेस अगर y1 to y21 इक्वल दिया हुआ है द नेटवर्क इज रेसिप्रोकल देन यू कैन रिप्लेस इट विद द पाई सर्किट ओके नाउ हियर हाउ यू कैन सॉल्व दिस if you see this particular pair we have v1 i2 v2 we have v1 i2 v2 so tell me which parameter link these parameters which parameter z y a b c d h which parameter links these three quantities v1 i2 and v2 I can say the y parameter कैसे in y parameter we have I2 is equal to y21 v1 plus y22 v2 y21 v1 plus y22 v2 h भी है that is also correct h is also correct nobody h is also correct so if I2 is 4 v1 is 10 v2 is 0 so from here y21 comes out to be 0.4 y21 comes out to be 0.4 बेटा एबीसीडी पैरामीटर में कौन सा होता है नॉट वेंकट एबीसीडी पैरामीटर डजंट लिंक दीज थ्री क्वांटिटीज है ना नाउ द नेक्स्ट पॉइंट इफ v1 is 5 volt I2 is 1.25 v1 is 5 volt 5 multiplied by y21 is 0.4 plus what is v2 is 1.25 y22 sorry y22 so from here I can find out the y22 so 1.25 is equal to 5 into 0.4 it comes out to be 2 plus 1.25 y22 so y22 comes out to be 0.75 divided by 1.25 so we can minus 3 by 5 or I can say minus 0.6 okay चेक कर लेना कैलकुलेशन माइनस 0.6 कोई डाउट इसमें यहां तक बच्चों माइनस 0.6 नाउ फाइनली वी हैव अ इक्वेशन दैट I2 is equal to 0.4 v1 minus 0.6 v2 now they are asking if v1 is 3 volt RL is 2 ohm what is I2 if v1 is 3 volt so if I put 3 volt here 0.4 multiplied by 3 minus 0.6 multiplied by v2 what is v2 beta v2 is I2 multiplied by RL so by solving this I can find out I2 yes or no tell me in comment section can you find out I2 here right so it become 1.2 2.2 so I2 comes out to be 1.2 divided by 2.2 ampere 1.2 2.2 huh right so you can see here if let me check calculation first y21 is correct so if I put y21 there so this is also correct minus 0.75 or 1.25 25 से cancel किया 3 by 5 हाँ सही आ रहा है Okay, got the answer? You can do the division here and get the answer I2. Okay, any doubt? Any doubt? It's also a good question. It is also a good question. Many information is given, but the link was given by this thing that they have linked only 3 quantities. In both the information, they have linked the 3 quantities. So you have to check which parameter is giving 3 quantities again. So H is also gives this parameter and Y also gives this parameter. Okay, but not ABCD. Okay, Venkat. So, bachcho, we will end our session here. But before ending a session, let me tell you, we have already launched the GATE crash course. Okay, this crash course. बेटा नाम मैं लिंक भेज दूंगा बेटा. I will post the link after 15 minutes. I will post the link. ठीक है? On a comment section. So we have already launched GATE 2024 crash course for the electrical and EC. You can join this particular crash course. Here we are providing you the live classes, recorded lectures, study material, mock test, and practice quizzes, and you will revise your concept in a less amount of time. Okay. So we will end our session here, guys. Next class will be on Monday. On Monday, I am going to take a last class on two-port network, where we are going to discuss more questions on a more different type of networks. Okay, timing will be 3 p.m. एनालॉग की क्लास के लिए क्या स्टेप्स है बेटा? यू हैव टू डाउनलोड आवर ऐप बायजूस एग्जाम प्रेप ऐप. आप डाउनलोड कीजिए, उसमें अपना कोर्स सेलेक्ट कीजिए कि आप गेट के लिए हो तो गेट ईसी और गेट इलेक्ट्रिकल आप उसको सेलेक्ट कर सकते हो. उसके बाद वहां पे आपकी नोटिफिकेशन आ जाएगी फॉर माई क्लासेस. ऑल्सो यू कैन फॉलो मी देयर, तो आपको मेरी पर्सनल नोटिफिकेशन वहां पे आ जाएंगे. खतीब सर, कोई बच्चा कोई अगर फर्स्ट टाइम स्टार्ट कर रहा है तो अप्रोक्सीमेटली उसको 6 to 7 मंथ्स लग जाते हैं. अच्छा, इफ टारगेट गेट 25. ओके, हाँ, तो बेटा 6 to 7 मंथ्स लग जाते हैं टू कंप्लीट द सिलेबस फ्रॉम द स्क्रैच इफ यू आर प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर फर्स्ट टाइम. ओके, इट ऑल्सो डिपेंड ऑन स्टूडेंट्स प्रीवियस नॉलेज की उन्होंने कॉलेज में कितना करा है, बट ऑन एन एवरेज इट विल टेक द 7 मंथ्स फॉर यू टू कवर द एंटायर सिलेबस. ओके, उसके बाद देन यू हैव टू स्टार्ट द रिविजन. मेरा नाम ही नहीं पता है. वाह, उसमें लिखा भी है बच्चा. जो हम वीडियो देख रहे हो ना बच्चे, उसमें नाम भी लिखा हुआ है. ठीक है. सो वी विल एंड आवर सेशन हियर गाइस. सो वी विल मीट ऑन मंडे को वी विल solve the remaining networks, a different type of networks here. Okay, so bye, take care and join the Telegram channel. I will provide the link in a comment section after the class. Thank you.